Welcome to Action for the week starting 3 February 2020. In this week's Action, we lead talking about Stand Up for Regional Queensland. It's a campaign that members came up with during last year as a way of saying to all political parties in the lead into the state election this year, who will stand up for regional Queensland? On the website we've set up, we talk about the reduction in population, the loss of teachers and police, of nurses, the loss of essential services, and the fact that regional and rural Queensland is going quietly backwards. It's exacerbated by the laws and policies of this current state government. But with Christmas and Australia Day out of the road, your organisation AgForce is about to ramp up the Stand Up for Regional Queensland campaign and hold the pressure together all the way through to the state election. We'll be getting volunteers together, we'll be having chats to people at food markets, and we'll be asking all of our members to take an active part in a campaign we hope will build, and not only be an AgForce campaign, but be a campaign led by AgForce, but joined by many others, not only individuals, but groups. Within the Stand Up for Regional Queensland campaign, as some of you know, the Lake Eyre Basin fiasco was launched by the state government just on the eve of Christmas. For those of you who haven't caught up with it, a little bit of information below. But in short form, on the eve of Christmas, the state government sat down with us and a few other peak bodies, provided 6 PowerPoint slides of information, in other words, very little, that suggested fundamental change to the regulations and the red and the green tape across the 503,000 square kilometres of the Lake Eyre Basin. They proposed to provide no new information or detail, and that they didn't propose doing any consultation with the Lake Eyre Basin community themselves, but they were proposing to put in place further regulation across the Lake Eyre Basin. We were naturally horrified and have gone out and spent the last few weeks consulting with the Lake Eyre Basin community, and will be putting a very strong submission back to the state government in the next couple of weeks. By doing the consultation work, we hope that submission will represent the voice of the community and not the voice of AgForce. We've invited members and non-members to the meetings. We've had over 9 so far, all the way across the Lake Eyre Basin. We enter the consultation in good faith, doing the government's work for them in the Lake Eyre Basin, but concerned that on the back of our experience through the vegetation management debate, the reef regulations debate, the discussions about ag colleges, the trigger mapping fiasco, to name a few, that this government will again impose further regulation without genuine consultation and care across a beautiful and pristine part of this state. Also in action this week, we talk a little bit about some new rules for feral pigs, about the Koala submission we put in last week, where the state government is proposing yet more regulation, legislation, red and green tape on landholders in terms of planning and development on their land. Let me be clear, all of our members care about koalas as much as anyone else in this community. But we are frustrated that yet again, the state government is proposing far-reaching changes without even sitting down with AgForce as the peak body for agriculture to talk about how to do it in a way that not only protects koalas, but also protects the ability for us to produce food and fibre. Something people take for granted, but something that we know we're struggling more and more to deliver against, given our costs of red and green tape. Also in this week's action, we just touch on Sunsuper. Just some tips to make sure that you're up to speed with where your super's at, assuming you're with Sunsuper. They are a partner of AgForce's and provide this additional information which we pass on their behalf. I was out in the Lake Eyre Basin last week and saw rain in patches and other patches very dry. I'm hoping you have a good week and we get some more widespread rain during this week. Thank you.